don't know if I want to do this. This is kind of crazy. Well, I should probably go ahead and do it. That should be fine. Hope that was a little bit of blood from last time. Oh, hey everybody. Hi. Thank you for viewing this. I got itch. So itchy. Anyways, we're going to showcase, well, not going to showcase. I'm going to show you all the stuff I've been working on and may actually finish. So, why is my back so itchy? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and show you the first thing. And that is the Mad Crow glider. We're going to go and show you what I've been working on. On the mod page, it is a content only, but we're going to go and expand it into code. It was a request made to make it flap, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it flap. Alright, so let me show you what I've been doing and we'll get going. Just gotta jump off this. It should go good, I think. I'm good. I got this. I got this. Alright, so you can see Flappy Bird. I've turned this in. Ow. Oh. There goes some teeth. I've turned this into the world's biggest Flappy Bird. Actually, well, kind of. Here, hold on. Let me try this again. Alright, as you can see, we have a stamina bar. You get about 2 flaps out of it before you have to let it recharge. So 1 and 2. And you can see there's a little bump in your altitude and a little bit of push in your speed. And if you're good at this, which I'm not, you can do this for a really long time. Until your mouse runs out of batteries, probably. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's got to be other people better than this at me. But I can do this for a little bit of time. As you can see, you get higher. It's all governed by the same speed profiles. You got to maintain your speed. Once you start dropping your speed, you're going to run into some trouble. And so, how we're doing the flapping is not as smooth as I would want it. I would like to see animation, but I wasn't able to pull off animation through a player character. It's apparently a limitation currently in Vintage Store. And so what I've done is I swap out the shape. We swap out the shape 4 times to achieve the appearance of flapping. Now, when you have a standby bar, okay, let's try a new word. When your standby bar runs out, you can still flap. It's just not going to produce any upward thrust. So, there you go. And so that's the new feature that's coming down the pipeline for the Mad Crow design. Mad Crow design is a end-game item. It's it can be built if you do download the mod. It can be built after you obtain Tobias's the portable transporter. Once you get that, there's some lore behind it. You can read it, and on the back side of it, according to my law, is the sketched-in first versions of the Mad Crow, and then you realize that you can turn it into a glider, and so that's where you go. Right? Okay, so the next thing we're working on too, as you can see, there's a little bit of texture difference with the large lantern. And I want to make it as close to the smaller lantern as possible, and I kind of wish that they added a little bit more time when they did introduce the small, and it looked like they were trying to phase out the large. So there was a request in a Porticus mod to add 45-degree angle. Oh, look at that, I got another one in my hand too. lanterns and also to have them sway in the wind. Well, unfortunately, I'm not able to make them sway in the wind like Salty's immersive mod. What happens is once you start going into another master, animation starts to be very difficult, such as the Mad Crow. I'm not able to push an animation through the character to the vest, to the glider. So you end up with a lot of difficulties. I was able to animate a lantern at the base of the lamppost, but it came out default color and also not at the right height. And I could get it to animate, but that's about it. And after about 100 iterations and attempts of all sorts of different voodoo and magic, I wasn't able to get very far. So we decided we'll end it there, maybe investigate it probably later down the pipe. But anyways, this is what we got so far. We got a new texture for the large lantern, and as you can see, it works well with the Salty's immersive lantern. I had to do some tweaks to compensate for his patching, because it did some weird things to my lanterns, and so it works now. It's compatible with mine. It's just my lanterns are not going to move on the lamppost. That's my limitations. But guess what? We got 45-degree angle switching. And so the reason behind that is one of the users wanted to compensate for a path that was going diagonally. And so what better off to do that with a diagonally facing lamppost? And that's where we got 45-degree angled lamppost. I do need to go and fix it for the more lanterns. There is a slight problem with it because the naming conventions of more lanterns has lanterns in its name. As you can see with the path, everything has lantern in the name. That means that everything on this list will stick to my lamppost. Everything. Probably this lantern fireplace, this whatever, who's your dad's. Let's do that. We'll put that roof on there. Boop, it's on there. So as you can see, weird stuff happens. So I gotta go and narrow down his list in order to make it more compatible. That way no hooligans can happen. But regardless, right now you can currently use his lanterns on his post as it is, and I haven't released this version yet, so you don't have 45-degree yet, but you can put the more lanterns on it. So I'm going to be releasing this shortly. Just got to prove a few things here. Let's go ahead and get rid of this block. I renamed it. Nope, not there. Oh, I broke something bad in the language file, as you can see. Alright, mental note, fix the language file. Anytime you see the tabs broken like that, the language file is broken. Alright, let's pop this down. Come on, focus on the... Get in your home. Nope, that's not it. There it is right there. Alright, so this is what I've been working on. It's to make the drawbridge feel more mechanical. To add gears to it, to make it look more like it's actually got more to it, more meat, more mechanicism to it. And so what we do here, hold on, stand by, beeping sounds. Yeah, click buttons. Alright, yeah, so there is a large configuration to look at, but there is only 2 rules basically. So let's go ahead. This is configuration library, or configuration lib. It's a mod and it allows you to change configurations in game. I use it all the time. Let's go to Portkis. Oh, also Mad Crow glider. I didn't really get into it, but I had to incorporate glider reforge because it had a lot of code in there that I could reuse to help control the way the Mad Crow flew. And so I used that along with my other code. And so we're kind of continuing the glider reforge up a mod within my mod. And so there's some settings in here where you can, this is supposed to be set false, so you're gonna see it, you're gonna have to enable these in order to make the Mad Crow have a useful fly. If not, it's just gonna flap and that's it, or it might not. I'm not quite sure, I haven't tried it yet. Anyways, but yeah, if these are all enabled, then all the features that you've seen currently, they're gonna happen. And then if you set them false, then it's just going to be default vanilla, just with the Mad Crow as a content mod, along with the colored gliders that go along with it. All right, so let's get to the Porticus. As you can see, there's a poop load of settings here. There were requests to be able to disable different portions of the mod, like the blazers, the Porticus, the drawbridge, the doors, etc. You can configure this whatever you want. Lamp holders can be turned off. You can go switch only, which is right here. In order to, when this mod is released with the Mechanicism update, you'll be able to turn it on over here. It will be false, so these two are usually always false in your configuration, so you'll have to manually turn them on. Turning this one on will make it so you have to use a switch for Porticus, which is a vertical gate, or the drawbridge. When you turn this one on, this will limit the drawbridge to only using the axle lever switch, and that was the one I just plopped down over there. The other switches will not work on a drawbridge. They'll still work on the vertical gate, the Porticus, but the drawbridge will be only that switch. And the reason being is, let's go back over here. In order for the gate to work, it needs to be on a connected network of power. And we spawn power right here at this point where the rope is at. So all you need to do, let's go get an axle so I can show you a few times. Let's not get rid of that. No, I won't get rid of that. Okay. Right here, this is detecting to see if there's an axle installed here. If there is an axle installed here, you'll see this new graphic, kind of like a pulley, a metal thing, that will appear. That is, in my code, I use a custom powered rotor in order to send power through these points back to the switch. So the switch needs to be on the same network as this in order for the drawbridge to work. You cannot extend off of it. In theory, you could slap down a large guy right here and maybe power a corn for every time you lower and close your gate. I guess you could do that, or pulverize it. But you probably might run out of torque too as well. Let's see, what was I doing before I blacked out? So there are, but if you don't use this option, it's not a big deal. There's been some spoofing up on the drawbridge. You got this new graphic here. Before it was a little scuzzy. I thought it was lame, so I redid it. So you got a pulley system in there. Once you go up, kind of looks a little bit more realistic. We got a flowing rope on the side that extends down, stretches down in reality, and it kind of looks like it belongs. All right, so there you go. That's the work on the drawbridge. Let's see, I'm going in my mind. Oh, for the different aspects of this, and I think, did I change it over here? Oh yeah, I did. But Salty's mod does some crazy junk to it. And it's not supposed to. I looked at the code and it was only supposed to be for hanging and holding, but apparently it extends a little bit beyond and does the wall mounted too as well. So that's a little weird. The other thing that I noticed that Salty's mod does as well is if you go over here, you see there's some goofiness happening to the arm over here, and it appears like my modification for the wall mount is not helping. It's hijacking it. So I might dig into that a little bit more. I think I'm just going to make it go back to default. But regardless, the large lantern is going to do this weird stuff on this boat. Probably due to the corrections that were made in 122.5, I think. Fixed the boat for the large lantern, I believe. Okay, so we are missing... I took off a mod earlier. Well, that's a canoe mod right there. You can see I need to test it on rivers. So I got a great river that I found in my real world game that I'm going to use to test out some issues with the river mod. But there is a mod out there that negates the problems that come with the river, because he adds properties to the river in order to make the current, and that just wreaks havoc to all boats in general, custom or vanilla. So, but we're going to try to see if we can't override it ourselves while we're on the water block itself. So I don't know how intensive that's going to be, but I'll do some testing on it. There was some requests to do it, and I'm constantly getting pegged for river questions, but mostly it's to go and disable this option to disable water flow. Is right now currently the only way to negate the river effects. Alright, so there's a mod over here. I have it uninstalled, so you're gonna have to give me about 85 seconds to turn it back on, and that's my boat mod. So just give me a second, I'll be right back. Boop. Pause. Alright, had to do a few things in order to get everything set. Fixed another mod that I work on, the improved handbook. What did I call it again? I don't know what I call my mods. No, improved handbook recipe helper for 1.22. Problem with the next selector button. In fact, I can actually show you. Let us show you what I've done. Stop it! Leave me alone! Okay, here we go. Right. There's a problem with this guy making sticks. Not making sticks, this is sticks for firewood. A mod out there. But this is also the recipe for Toolsmith to make handles. So I had to go and fix this button. It wasn't working right. Unfortunately, this makes the mod no longer client. I have to do a peek in the server side in order to get this thing to work. Granted, the majority of this mod will be client side only, so it's no impact to a server except for this one little quick peek to authorize this switch. If not, it'll always be sticks, and you'll never get the crude handle. So the good thing is it will correct any mod's conflict issue now. So it's a nice component to have. But anyways, moving on. Let's go show you my other mod. I have a few. Get up! Oh, that's right. I'm no longer Superman. Joking. All right. Let's see. Okay, so here we are, Viking boats. We started off with this boat, and so basically this is that. However, we shave a little bit off the bottom, which allows it to float in a one block area. That means that, what does that mean? If the water level is only one block, like this, your boat can sail across it. Alright? So, making it a large boat that can sail into a river. So that helps a lot immensely when you're using boats and traveling down river systems. You don't have to gut them to 2 blocks deep. You can then now only need to make sure it's big enough for the whole boat to travel through, wide enough basically, which is great. You know, you can use it just like a canoe. Now this also, if I ever do finish it, will have paddling enhancements, because when you start going into a river and you have a sail, it becomes very easily unmanageable. You have to go either really slow or just negate your sails completely and then use the rudder. Well, the paddles will help you use your speed, and also using the same mechanics that the canoe uses, your paddlers can help deter and also help guide you through the river. Granted, they won't be able to steer, they'll only be able to control the paddling. I was thinking of also maybe adding a drum in here where your co-pilot over here would hit the drum, and if he hit it within a certain amount of time period, it would make sure that you had an additional bonus with your paddlers, or maybe getting them all to paddle at the same rate, you know, just giving you a bonus basically. But anyways, the other thing too is I take the sailboat and I pulled it into the mod. That way I can go ahead and allow different wood textures to be used, because currently you can't really inject new textures in here without going in creative and plopping it down. The problem comes inherent to the construction mechanism of the boat. Right, the other thing too, which is worth noting, let's go ahead and build a platform out here so we can drop another boat on the side of it. I have developed a new way to construct a boat, and I think it's a lot better than the existing. Let's go ahead and get some rollers. Rollers used for rolling stuff. I guess I'll have to spell it. Okay. Alright, these are Seafarers, these are mine. Okay. These are regular rollers, and as you notice, they go up to 6 now. And that's crucial for the longboat. So basically, whatever you're holding in your hand will decide what kind of boat you're going to get. I have to also fix this too. We're getting graphics culling, which allows you to see into the ground for translucence. So I need to fix that. But look away. As you notice, the model turns green. Damn, that's a lot of. Must be the way the grass is working here. Let's get this stuff out of here. Alright, that might help. Alright. Nope. Yep. Well, I guess it's doing a lot more better. That's not even a word. So instead of using the block system where you have to get gray color blocks on the land and blue color blocks over the water, this one uses just uses the model's texture, so you at least know how it's going to be facing and what you're going to be building. And this is the longboat. It requires 6 rollers. The sailboat only requires 5 rollers, and I might change that up for the trader, maybe 4 or maybe even 8. Who knows how I want to do it. I'm crazy like that. I can make up things, whatever I want. But as you can see, you got some arrows in the front, and if you go outside the boundaries that passes the model, it will turn gray. If you pass it, it will turn green. And then you just right click and then boom. And that's how you do it. And I think it's a lot more efficient system than just throwing down some rollers and trying to move a square and trying to remember that which way is the square flow, you know, how to do it. It's It just adds a little bit more ease to it, I think. So, that's Viking boats in a nutshell. Also, it would have patching to allow. I'm staring at it and it's not hitting my brain. Barrels on your boats. Barrels on your boats. We'll also allow them on the vanilla boats as well. The canoe mod, also bark canoe mod, allows you to put barrels on boats too as well. I can show you, and that's a mod that's already available. So if you do get the bark canoe mod, if you go into the settings for bark canoe, you will see that you can do a bunch of junk here. Enable barrels on canoes and boats. It is defaulted true, so you don't have to do any settings. But if the mod, your admin or whatever, he can change it and just make no barrels on boats. It's illegal. No, I don't like it. Papers, please. Anyways. And like my other mods, you can make them destroyable. And I can show you. I don't know if I've actually completed the destroyable for the boat, but the canoe can be destroyable. Let me go ahead and show you what that actually looks like when you actually do destroy it. Because they both kind of share some of the same codes, I like to try to reuse a lot of my code as possible. It helps with my brain to keep things aligned. But there's just some nuances that make everything just crazy. I had to set for 1,000 hit points. Great. Alright, so what you're going to see is going to happen is there's two stages to this. The first stage is wreck, and then it will go into a... no, the other stages are governed by what kind of damage. So, here we go. I think it might turn into a rot. It's been a while. Yeah, it will go rot. If there was items in here like chest and whatever, depending on how the boat was destroyed, like the bark canoe, will be what kind of barrel or whatever will be thrown down. So eventually this will become a rotten one, and so you'll see rotten chest. I haven't updated the chest to do the collapsing yet. I thought that was a very neat touch in 1.22. So they'll still maintain their structure, you just can't put anything inside them. So that's a rotten one. I use my own burnt texture for my burnt. Right there, it looks a little bit more burnt. Pretty neat. I think it's awesome. Super sexy. But yeah, that will go rotten. And if you look over here, I do have a rot. Is this a burnt hole? Which one is this? Rotten. This one is a rotten. If there's a fire and your canoe catches on fire and gets burnt by the fire, it will turn into the charred version of this, which is, here's one right here. There we go, charred. Can I turn it? I don't know if I can spin them. It's hard to say what I do. Nope. So anyways, sorry for the coughing. I can only speak for so long before my voice starts to get coarse. Alright, here's another nuance that I found with Salty's swinging mod. It makes large lanterns do weird stuff. I've been trying to hijack it so it won't, because the ones on my boat they bypass the normal ones, but it should be bypassing it because this is my own wall mounted one, but it just does what it wants. Yeah, so there you go. This works great with the carry-on mod, so you can go up and pull these things off and place them, and regardless is if you put one that's full or empty, it's always going to put a cap on it. And that's the way I did it, and it's to show that you don't want to get extra stuff in it because you're in the water and out in the wild, so therefore you would like to cover up your barrels. So, oh, here's a burnt version of the barrel. So, oh, this is a wrecked version of the one. Let's see. So over here is the trader boat, and this is very interesting because it actually exists in the game right now, but it's a block type. And so what I've done is I've turned it into a real working boat. This took me an incredibly long time, like 2 days, for me to figure this out. I did want to change this guy out so you could put your own fishing pole here, but this is actually part of the model, along with this thing over here, which is also part of the model. I believe this is a hook for pulling yourself into shore or something like that. It's not, it's just cosmetic. I could swap that out for a holder for maybe a tool or like a spear or an oar or something, or maybe even another fishing pole. But this mod also is built with the physics mod, so you can actually walk across it, as you can see right here. I have to readjust the sitting point for the hammock. It will sit you right here in the hammock in the middle. For some strange reason, with one of the latest releases, it sits you in the back corner now, which is kind of odd. Maybe I broke it somehow, I don't know. But yeah, it has working sails and everything. I kept the slope going on here. I thought that was super cool. So I wish I could add some wind physics to this, but they're really hard to control, and it's got to be built a certain way in order to stick properly. You know, it's weird. I haven't really truly figured it out effectively enough past ropes and sticks. But yeah, so same thing with this guy right here. It's got sails going on here, colored ones. The shipwright also has colored sails too, which is really cool because you can add your own dynamic. But right now, currently, it's only red and white. That's as far as I've gotten with the coding on that. The difference between this and the sailing ship is pretty obvious. It comes with the 6 seats already built in because it's a Viking boat. It's designed around paddlers. So therefore your cargo is a little bit lighter. So you got 5 areas where you can put cargo, 3 down the middle and 2 sides in front of the co-pilot and controller. I call the controller the driver. So this one, you can put one here, one there, cargo here and here. And what's cool about this too, this is the anchor point. What's cool about this is nobody can see your cargo unless they're really high up, and then they can see what you're carrying. So it's kind of like I guess a smuggler ship, if anything, but you're carrying 8. I would say it's more of an end game or a show your wealth type boat. It'll be much more material to make, and so, you know, driving one of these around will be more showing your prestige or how much you own. You're basically wealthy at this point. I might actually put more cargo over here too as well. I do like the fact that you could have people standing on here too. It also comes with a crow's nest. We get underneath it. Let's see, there we go. We're in the crow's nest. Let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. Your face is right into the wood, which is the requirement for a crow's nest. Everybody knows that. Silly. Don't you question me? There's also physics presence here too as well. Let me get over here. If you can somehow manage it, you can stand up here all day long. And it'll be weird because the boat sways, but as long as the boat swaying is kind of an illusion-ish. It's still physically at this point, this crow's nest, all the time, but visually it's swaying back and forth. Okay, so get off. So there you go. This is the mod that I'm working on. It's called Viking Boats. I might change it to Longboat. I'm not sure, boats or longboats with a Z. Who knows what I'm gonna do? I'm crazy. I'm out of control. Just saying. Oh, okay. So, what was I doing next? I was holding my breath for a really long time. My nose started bleeding. Oh, let's go over here. Run up through the castle really quick. Boom. Kind of like that. Oh, yeah, I was playing this particular castle run, but it's just too cheaty. It's just so much material. I was gonna fix it up, but I kind of want to build my own unique castle. So, anyways. All right, so yeah, this is all the raised display cases. The reason why I built these is, Skyrim and stuff like that, you could display your weapons and your cool stuff that you find and stuff. But anyways, the problem with vintage story display cabinets is they're flat, and so if you put them on a table, you can't really see them very good without having to jump up on them and stuff, or even get to the back very well. Even though the selection boxes are staggered, it's a pain in the butt. So I made the raised ones. They're slanted. Basically the same thing. It's just it took some work to actually position them so they'd come up angling, and they're a little off right now because it got backed up, and the way it reoriented, it's a little peculiar. I haven't really invested much time to actually fix that, but at least the items come back in the right spot. You can just go back and just pop them back in, and then they'll go flush again. So they're kind of cocked in the other direction. That's just doing that to torture me. And of course, you got the rock, classic King Arthur rock. One of the nuances with the backup, if you remove the mod and you keep it uninstalled for a period of time, but you re-add it back, with any mod that has a container feature to it, where you click something to add something like a light post, the lamp is on it, it's kind of in a container. The same thing with this is kind of a tool rack. It's actually made from the tool rack code. This display case is also made a lot from the display case code. So, but the problem is Vintage Story only saves its stuff. It doesn't save your stuff. And so what happens is everything shows up blank and empty, and you can't even put anything in there. They're broken. So in order to fix it, you'd have to break the item, and then you could put something in it. But the problem is if there was something in it, it's lost forever. And so I had to go and write in basically a backup system for my mod. So when you put the mod back into the game, all the items would back up to their proper positions. Ish. Granted, the stones will be facing in whatever direction Dave is eating Cheerios, but that's what you got. The next mod, do I want to get off this mod? Oh, with the Porticus mod, excuse me, one of the last releases where I added particles animation, I corrected the stone lamppost to be more, to add more texture or life to it, shape to it. And so we got an extra area right here, and this is I did this to kind of help me align the flame particles. So there was reasons behind it. Also, 2 releases ago, it was brought to my attention that I did not place them in the middle of the square, which also I thought I fixed, but then when I started adding particles to stuff, I realized that that might not be completely in the center. So that was also adjusted too as well. And of course, other minor fixes and texture overlaying, kind of like this right here. Um, if it annoys me enough, I will go and fix it. But right now, I need to focus on other stuff. Doors in themselves, they had some occlusion issues. Also, these were generating invisible blocks randomly. I don't think it was this particular model. I think it might have been the 1.5. And that took some magic coding to do. And it's basically putting a 1.5 block door in a 3 block area. And I think I have a good example of that. Right, yeah, right here. The 1.5 blocks. So you can put a double door in a 3 block area. And it's very, I thought it was very cool because there's interesting things in here. Let me try to find one for you. 1.5, there's one right there. That might work. I think that's it. So in order to place this guy, you got to keep the door open, or you got to set the door. Okay, let me get this one. This one's got a thing on it. Give me a second. This will only take a second. Alright, so anyways, when you place these, place one, and then you place the other. Is that a 2? Oh, actually this one is, this is actually a, what the hell am I doing? This is a 1 door. Silly me. Tricks are for kids. I grabbed the wrong one. I thought I was grabbing 2 of these, but I wasn't. I was grabbing 2 of those. Okay, so anyways, let's get back over here. Pop this down. So you'll find that you can't really place it. So you gotta basically open this door first, and then you can place it. And then boom, you're golden now. This is the stone door. And so it's actually based on, there's a famous door in Israel, and that's where this door comes from. I got the handles a little bit animating, so when it flows backwards, the handles do a kind of a slow kickback, so you can see it a little quick, little flicker. It's not really big at all. Anyways, let's see, we did that, oh, we were going to do music boxes. Alright, so music boxes, there is a video on this. The other day I was playing in my survival mode world where I run through the game and I find out that my mod has all sorts of bugs in it that nobody tells me about. So I have to at least play the game every so often, like a real person, to find them. And I came across some music boxes and I was like, dude, I want this to play music. It should play music. I want it. And so I made it play music. So there are 5 varieties of music boxes. Excuse me. Pristine, which I don't think you'll ever come across, but I guess there's a chance. You got this one right here. I think this is a burnt box. I think this is the charred texture. And this one's the large. That one's the small. And then this is number 2 and number 3. Number 2 you can turn into a music box. It just takes a little bit more parts. And this one is completely unserviceable, and it's used for only holding P and oak nuts, I guess. I don't know. It's useless. It's 2 damage, and you're just a tinkerer. You're not a clocksmith. I can't say words. Clockworks person. So anyways, what's really cool about these is these guts are in there, they're in here, and they're there, but you just can't open them up. So I made it animate. Do do do. Dun, 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 dun. So let's try to get away. So it's interesting, you hear that sound, and it's very haunting. As he knows, there's distance to it. So there's proximity to the music. I hate when mods are not localized to the object that's happening. You see that with a lot of entity mods that have creatures and stuff. They forget to localize the sound to the entity and not to the area, and so you get this screech and you have no idea where the monster's screaming from. But what's interesting about this too is as soon as it's done, and I think this might be done here shortly. Sometimes they have another kick on routine. Boop, and there you go. It closes and you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't just keep on playing forever and ever and ever. So the interesting factor about this is I had to go with the sound effects. So it's run off the sound volume, not the music volume. The problem with this is this detects for an entity to this cartridge to be in there, and then it triggers the ambient sound to be turned off. So the background music that you hear playing and stuff, blah 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 blah. Well, it was extremely hard to trigger that effectively with the music box because you're not actually putting something in it, you're just opening it up. And putting a latch in there to call that was just too convoluted with code. And so the best way to go about it was just doing a sound effect. So think of it as somebody screaming for a really long time. The other thing too is I got 11 songs, so you can go and fix these randomly, 11 songs, but you can also retune them too if you're a tinkerer. And this is tinkerer specific. Unless you've selected no class, then you should be able to build them. But in a structured society that has tinkerers and is going by the class mechanism, then a tinker is the only one that can fix this. And also retune them. So if you don't like the sound that's playing on them, go find yourself a tinkerer, or unless you're a tinkerer, you can retune it, and it doesn't take that much. I think it's just a chisel and that's it, or something like that, and you can retune it to another tone. So every box, there's 11 tunes. If you want to know who the authors are, they are on the mod page, and the links to go to the website that holds their music and the licensing that's required to use this is all in the website, and it's also embedded in the readme MD file in the front part of the mod's assets. So you can get it there too as well. But everyone has it. You get this quick wind up when you open it. You can see whoop, and then it goes slow. Here's your Christmas one. This is the only Christmas one. And you notice that tinning effect. So the reason why I went and distorted the sound a little bit is because I wanted to add a kind of a law of them being just being affected by the temporal disorders and effects and the age, and then the psychic horror of whatever outcome happened to the people that own these before you might have been impressed upon the box itself, and so you get that haunting effect. And some of them, I think there's one in there that has laughter, children laughing in the background. All right, so good luck, happy hunting. Got to catch them all, Pokemon. All right, what am I going to do next? Oh, let's make it bright out and show you the next one. Now, you guys have probably seen this one a few dozen times through my videos. So this is based on the Grand Sunrift project that's showcased in the Better Ruins. And I was thinking to myself, why don't I make my own rift? What could possibly go wrong? You know, it seemed like it worked. Maybe they just built theirs wrong. It's probably because they built theirs wrong. And as you can see, there are some problems with turning it on, activating it, because every time you go through it, because mine works. Duh. I know how to make stuff. It pulls in a little bit of the desolation, and so you can see, and I believe this extends out to 30 blocks right now, but I might increase it. I'm not quite sure. Probably 1,000 blocks. I don't know. Anyways, depends on how I feel on Thursday. But yeah, so every time you go through it, a bunch of new blocks will appear around your portal. So how it works. Oh, also as a disclaimer, these have no OSHA certifications to them. They're very, very dangerous to operate. I can't guarantee that you might not get hurt. I do use real blades in the construction of these things. So as you can see, very dangerous. I'm in creative mode and I'm bleeding. Look at that, blood, gross. Getting blood all over the place. See, and so in theory, and well, not in theory, I've done it already. You could lead the drifters in here, cattle, your best friend. He'll probably it'll take probably about a good 4 or 5 hits for a normal player to get whittled down to nothing. All right. So how this thing works is you first build it, and you're like, oh, this is beautiful. However, what will happen the first time you go through it and you come back to your base, it's going to be all rusted and corrupted like this, and it's going to have this rust just growing out of it. I have not extended the rust extensions. They only go this far. Yeah, I don't know if I want to continue it. I might just start laying these beams further and further out, maybe 30 or 40 blocks. I'm not quite sure yet. So how this thing, oh, look at it, it killed this rabbit. It's still actively killing this rabbit. All right, so this is how it works. You get to a certain distance and it starts to activate. So right here is about pretty much the trigger point. If you go a little bit closer, you'll start getting the portal effect and activating the temporal warping that will go around, and you can start to see everything start to go into that temporal warping. So as you can see, it's gotten horrible, just like as you're approaching any other portal in the game. But I've made it so it positions itself pretty nicely in the center of the portal, giving you that effect that it's actually making a portal. So it comes together pretty good. Unfortunately, right now I need to make the graphics dirty and net to another player, so it's not currently built for multiplayer yet, which is not a big deal. I can easily put that in there. I just haven't invested any more time to it. There's some few things that I want to do, but this won't trigger the portal until you make a step. So like anybody, you're gonna want to taste the portal, because you're like, does it taste like peppermint? It probably tastes like peppermint, and you'll be like, well, there's only one way to find out what the portal tastes like. You have to go up to it and actually taste it. So you can see I'm tasting the portal, but if you taste it too long, like more than 3 licks, I think, and then you have to bite it, you're in the desolate. And that's where it takes you. It always takes you in front of the tower, about 10 blocks out from the door. Which is predictable. All right, so there you go. This is one way to get to the desolate without having to find the map. One of the reasons why I do like a portal to the desolate, Granted, it's, you know, the Desolate is out there in no man's land. All right, you can see where all my icons are and me. Coming out here is not something that you want to do all the time. However, if you're out there busy, if you got good armor and stuff like that, and you can survive these cardiac arrest monsters, coming out here, you can really dress up your keep or whatever you're building. There is a lot of material out here that is pretty neat. So let me go and show you some. Right, like over here, you can see a cluster of stuff, and they're very easy to find because of the way the map deals with the graphics. They kind of light up, and as you can see, if you need Jonas lamps, there are a ton out here. There's stuff. There's usually nothing in the chest. I haven't really found anything in the chest, but there's I'm sorry, crates, but the chests are everywhere. And as you can see, these weird blue glowy tanks. There's a chest over here, and as you can see, there's a pretty much loot in there. There's a music box in here. This one is, I don't know, this is box 2, so you could actually make a music box out of that. A whole bunch of these things. I guess there's technically stuffed cobweb. Unfortunately, you cannot parkour on these things. I was hoping that you could, but these are not really here. These are here, and that's here, but that chain does not exist. So if you're coming here expecting to walk across these chains, well, guess what? It's not going to happen. It would be nice if they did make these things real, because then you could parkour this. The only problem is the boat horns would knock you off in a heartbeat if they were near. So you need two people. But if you're going to come out here, you're going to need dirt blocks to get up into these things. The other thing too is, you know, there's all sorts of cool things. You can get neat books with temporal distorted books with pages floating in the air. Would go great with a magic room or something. But yeah, even the new dungeons will spawn out here, and they'll kind of look like a big circle. Updated it for everybody that uses it, and it's called the Warp mod. Very easy mod, very straightforward. It's a teleport mod that allows you to basically create waypoints or warp points. To show your list, very simple. To show how to use it, you don't have to type in help or something like that. It will pretty much tell you, which is nice. I like this. I hate doing /help, then whatever command that you want to run. It should be whatever command you want to run with help in front of it. But anyways, because then you have to type out your command anyways. So we're going to go to my castle, which is CAS, and then boom. There we go. Back into the crazy sound that we left off. Which one is it? Oh, it's that one. Shut up. Alright. I think that's it. Oh, yep. Alright. So, I'm going to go back into my creative area over here, where I do all my productive work in the catacombs. So I will catch you later. This is my thinking area. This is where I think. What the hell am I doing with my hand? I can get rid of that wood. That doesn't help it at all, does it? What's this hand doing? No. Can't even show that on the video. Look at, I got some sort of twitching thing going on here. Dope. Oh yeah, this is my rarity mod. I haven't released it or anything because one of the things that is very constringent on some of the traders and stuff like that is if you alter anything in the attributes, it uniques it. And so, but I've managed to patch around that, so I can sell flaxes that are rare, have rarities to it. This one right here, any rarity of legendary or unique will glow. I would prefer them to glow. They actually glow in the bar. That's good, but I can't get them to glow on in display cases or whatever. That would take an immense amount of coating. So, but even backpacks become rarities. And what's cool about the backpack is, unlike this one, if you get a rarity, based on that rarity, it adds an additional role to have extra slots to be more optimized, basically. And this happens anything from baskets to backpacks. Technically, oars are not supposed to be doing it, but this is a part of the Viking boat, and I haven't excluded that one yet. And there's no durability on oars, so I should do a check for that and just remove it. But I also had firewood. One of the things that my thing does, and I wonder if it's going to show it in here. I have a mod that lets me see what's in the attributes. So as you can see, this has a lot of junk in there. Tool, tinker, handle. Let's see. Oh, this might have it right here. Is it built by? Or did I just make it? I think I just made this. I don't have anything that I built myself. Anyways, this will show you who built it. Built by, if it's a tool that was built by somebody, then it will say built by Banta or whoever, John Smith. And it'll actually give you the year that they built it. So, and then also, if you, and if you go in here, of course, too, you can drop out stuff until something turns rare. I haven't made any hard set where you can force the rarity, but in my version, armor and weapons and clothing will produce a unique name. And I use like the Dungeons and Dragons way of creating names randomly. So every name is unique in itself. So this one is the green sharp caliber aurora whatever sword material, normal sword, whatever. This one is just a legendary backpack because we don't name our backpacks. That's silly, right? Yeah, right. So, and you can also have legendary armor with names and stuff like that. So, moving on. Yeah. Actually, did I? No, I didn't rebuild this one. Another one I did. Oh, also, your ruined tools will have a rarity too. So you could find a tool with 100 durability instead of 18 if it was like a legendary item. What caused that? That was, I think this bug was in my canoe mod. Here, I know I can reset this. Let's go over here really quick. I think this came from the Viking boat. One of the problems with the oaring, oh shoot, I should have just made a canoe tonight, was it wasn't canceling the oh, if you're noticing the texture of the canoe, it's inverted, and you can actually set that in your configuration to make it inverted or not. Alright, so when I get out, it should stop. No, it's something else that's causing that. No, there's something else that's causing that. I don't know what it is. I got a twitch. Chug it, 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 chug it. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for joining me. Let me show you what I'm up to. Some of the mechanics and coding, this kind of magic, witchcraft stuff. And like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. 1-900-825-729. Go. I just made up that number. But I'd have to say it 3 times so you guys would become subconsciously addicted to that number. But I won't do that. I'll save you. Why did everything stop? Why are you guys still here? I'm not going to show you anything else. I'm done. I got nothing else. All I got is this and a twitching arm. That means I showed you too much. My arm's so tired that it's got muscle memory built into it. Go. Get out of here. Go. I got a knife. Get out of here. Get out of here now. Go. Get.